It has been chilly. It was 29 degrees. Hey Troy, how you doing?
How are you doing, sir?
Good, good.
See you again.
See you guys on TV regularly. Been having usual
We're gonna have a
stuff.
fun one in February,
Is that about the church?
emergency shelter ordinance, coming
Oh.
back, the homeless shelter thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, what happened with that church? Is it?
Well, it was
With the-
denied, but they almost got everything they wanted as part of the denial, because the council interpreted some things, so it was kind of an interesting outcome.
Jaywalking.
Safety.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of safety, Pleasant View Drive should not be able to park on either side of that street.
It is a tight little narrow
You
street.
can't have two. You can barely get, when the garbage cans are out. It's hard enough with cars going both ways.
I never go on Pleasant View
It's a
Drive.
very narrow
It's
street.
dense, and those Public Works got props for spending $1 million on that intersection where it's just it's gonna go backwards. There's gonna be so much congestion there. Never been an accident. That is where it should be.
Well, I know you don't have a whole lot of time.
Right, I sure don't.
Try to make the best use that we can of it. Again, thanks for coming in, really appreciate it. I think we kind of covered some of this in the email, but we, received information from a resident who wishes to remain anonymous.
What right do they have? What ordinance is that?
I mean, it's a code enforcement matter, so we don't routinely disclose that kind of information when somebody, makes a complaint or an inquiry like that.
Well, I just feel like.
So, I know that you'd like to know, but that's not something that we can share with you, at least.
Well, I don't know why not. I mean, because I just don't want to be under the microscope for the rest of my life there.
I mean, we could certainly ask that person if they have any objection to,
But I don't think
divulging.
it's their prerogative. I mean, the thing is this, your amendment rights, if you get accused of a crime, you get to face your accuser. And, I just don't want, some, biased city council member who has a vendetta against his property and me. I mean, the city has basically taken away every option for that place except for use for single-family residence. And it was, that whole year's process, was directed strictly at this property. It's so clear, and it's all on the public record. They mentioned it, they giggled about it, they did all the rest of that stuff. So, for me to, I just don't think it's right. I think it's harassment. I think it's a witch hunt, and I don't think I should be under the microscope. And if anybody wants to call up and say, oh, this is going on there, then trigger some kind of investigation.
Well,
So-
and that's, all we want to do right now is just try to find out, do some fact finding.
Yeah, and I
See,
hope this is the end of it today,
Is there any issue here that we need to pursue or not? So, whatever you can do to help clarify, what the circumstances are there would, I think, help, potentially put this to rest. So, if you can just tell us a little bit about what's going on at the residence, how's it being used? Give us some details of that.
It's being used as a single-family residence with an alternative family. We live there together with other adults. We share household chores, maintenance, responsibility, eat together, share expenses. We decide who we want to join the family and not. We function just like any other family does, and that's it. We don't do any treatment, we don't do any counseling, we don't do anything, we don't have a license. We're not a member of any organizations, any rehab organizations or treatment center organizations or listed under anything like that. It's just a family. And
How many people are there roughly?
well, there's 5 with my domestic partner and I, but that shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't limit the number of,
5 plus you and your.
and my domestic partner.
So you're living there now?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. And do you have any, is that the limit on how many people you're envisioning there, or are you still looking for more, or is it hard?
It's just, whatever the right fit is and whatever we feel good with. I mean, again, I don't want to, believe me, I don't want to come down here. I don't want to create any traffic, noise, littering, any problems that impact that neighborhood at all, and we have not. I mean, I live there, you can hardly tell we have any, you can't tell that we have anybody. They're all adults, everybody's responsible. We have family rules just like you have family rules, and that's really all it is.
Is it being operated as a business
No.
enterprise of any
No.
kind, or?
No, just a family, just like any other.
Yeah, I think you said there weren't any treatment programs or anything, so.
Correct.
Is there counseling or?
Nope, to do that, you have to be licensed, and we don't do any of that at all.
Or drug testing of any kind?
Just like anybody else, people they drug test their kids. If we think someone's under the influence and we drug test them, that's one of our house family rules, that we don't use any alcohol or drugs on the property or ever. And, but, Mormon families do that. A lot of families do that. I mean, it's just,
Parents test their teenagers sometimes.
You got it. I mean, they're hot off the shelves now at the Walgreens, I'm sure, at the holiday times.
Yeah. And as far as like, is there anything related to dispensing medication of any
No,
kind?
no dispensing medications.
Okay. And you said you all live together as a family, so what does that mean in terms of financial?
We share the expenses. I pay the bulk of them, but we all share expenses. We have regular chores, maintenance. Nobody rents a specific place. We all have access to all the areas in the house and outside the house, just like a regular family would be. They're not tenants, they're family. So it's not a boarding house, it's not anything like that. It's just, we just live in there as an alternative family.
Okay, and do you have any employees or volunteers that come in to?
Just
help with anything?
Just the gardener, and we do most of our own maintenance there, clean up and stuff, but we don't have any, therapists there. There aren't any, outside counselors coming in or anything like that.
And what's your role then? Are you just sort of resident there, or?
I'm just a resident owner, and just owner, own the building and, part of the group.
And you share the same
We all shared,
space?
well, exactly. I mean, they don't come in my room, but,
Right, but all the common areas?
all the common areas, there's no segregation of, you can't go here, you can't go there. And, that place is plenty big for, we have that great room, we have a bunch of rooms there, so.
Are there any meetings required as far as, for the residents?
No.
On-site, off-site?
No, we're not affiliated with any other organizations or support groups or treatment programs or anything like that. We encourage them to go to meetings if they, need to do that, but we don't have any requirements for that.
And you said there were house rules. Is there a curfew, or are there restrictions on visitors or anything like that?
Just like every other house and every other family, yes.
How does that get enforced?
Well, we've just said that, we want people in by 11 o'clock on the weekends, because we don't want people coming in there late at night, and, again, when you have different bodies there and different people there, so we don't want them coming in, but we've never had a problem with, people showing up and being on time, and visitors, or, it depends on, we don't want, again, I don't want to have 50 cars there, and so people visiting and stuff like that, so we, it's pretty much case by case, just again, like any family, hey, can somebody come over? They don't have to ask, for, specifically, but, we've had a couple of, barbecues, and, again, limit the number of people who can come, so we're not parking on the street, not causing any traffic or any other kind of problems like that. So just functioning as a family.